McCullough, Mewcow, Tetsemi. That looks like it's live. That says we're live. And this says, piss off everyone. All right, there we go. All right.
Chat room, if you're there, let us know if you can hear us. If you're not there, let us know if you can hear us.
Yeah.
That so we don't have echo.
What's that?
Muting that so we don't have echo.
Oh,
echo.
Echo.
I thought you were saying
bass?
I had echo, and I'm like, no, I've got my...
No, we sound good for once.
No. You sound good.
How is okay? Good. How are we sounding, Max?
Hopefully not too quiet, not too loud.
My mic is plugged in.
Yay.
That's always a plus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and then I had to adjust both my mic level and Heather's mic level in the Windows sound properties because they're both like, no, we're just going to go 67%. I'm like, no, we need them 100%, and then I back them off through the soundboard.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, that's a notorious Windows thing. As I was like fiddling with the Go XLR stuff, they were even saying, yeah, just keep an eye on Windows. Windows just likes to randomly throw things around for some reason.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It's helping.
It's helping. Well, and the problem is we unplug and plug the mics in. They're not in all the time. So
right.
as soon as you do that, Windows goes, eh.
Yeah.
And then it also tries to make, because this has an XLR setup, it also tries to make this the headphones as well, because there's a headphone. I'm like, no, I don't want to listen to the mic. I want the people to listen to me through the mic, but I want to listen through these things. All right.
Or be like me and try to troubleshoot for an hour why I could hear myself through my speakers, and I forgot that I put listen on the sound.
Oh, yeah. That would do it. Listen. Hey, listen. All right.
Listen.
On that. All right. We are going live in 5, 4, 3. On this episode of the AIE Podcast.
Patch here, patch there, patch everywhere.
All our SOTOR guild does is win.
Congrats are in order for Alia Iacta Est classes.
We promise we are not pod fading.
So to prove this, we're going to be our own guest this evening.
All that and more coming up right now.
Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast.
Welcome back to the AIE Podcast. No, welcome to the episode 419 of the podcast celebrating you, the Alia Iacta Est gaming community. The die has been podcast. This... Me, I am Tetsemi. To my left and upstairs is McCullough? Yes.
To your left and upstairs is Mewcow.
No, he's to my right and 2 states over. You get us all confused.
He's throwing it all out the window.
Yeah, that's all right. So, to my right and 2 states over is Mewcow.
Greetings, guildies. Hopefully you enjoyed your 420 festivities responsibly.
And
oh, dang it!
To my left and upstairs is McCullough.
I'm now really upset because had we actually been on target, it would have been episode 420. In any case, hey guys, speaking of munchies, there are lemon bars in the guild kitchen. Please eat them. I'm trying to reduce my sweet tooth because, well, my pretty dresses aren't fitting that great.
Yeah, I don't think you can reduce your sweet tooth. You can just reduce your sweet intake.
Yeah, true. The sweet tooth isn't going anywhere.
Yes. And apologies about the long time between shows, but real life, and we needed to shift everything to get it back on track so we're not interfering with other real-life activities like tabletop role-playing games by certain spouses and other things because...
Oh, Mrs. Mew. I'm like, wait. Oh, Mrs. Mew.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because...
Yes, but we're on track now. We're on track now.
Yay!
We're on track now, yeah. Yeah, because next weekend, if we'd kept up with the 2 weeks, next weekend... McCall and I would have been in Vegas. 2 weeks after that's Mother's Day. 2 weeks after that is Phoenix Fan Fusion, also known as Phoenix Comic Con. So yeah, no, we're back on track. We're back on track. So, so Mew, what have you been up to in our 3-week off the air? Whatever.
Longer for Mew because he had X's birthday.
Oh, that's right. It's 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's
for
been
him.
a while since we've had chatted with Mew.
Yeah, well, it's because I was busy at the time. We were in Houston, enjoying what that city has to offer.
Houston, we have a podcast?
Yeah. Indeed. And we did indeed spend some time at the Space Center.
Cool.
Yep, because, the kiddo's always been into space and whatnot, and he got to actually walk inside of an actual truly spaceship. It was, we were in the basically the actual 767, 770, the one that actually can haul them around the country. It starts at the bottom, and then the actual, like the Enterprise and the all the other type shuttles will sit on top. So we got to actually go inside the shuttle, look around, and all the other fun stuff. And and they have a pretty nice little museum and interactive area there, so that was pretty neat. And they had we didn't really partake, but they had a music festival going on that weekend too. So it was just kind of like, apparently, like the entire state takes that week off for spring break.
Oh, spring break, yeah. A lot of places have spring break right then.
Like other states staggered a little bit so that you're not overwhelming. It's like, nope. The entire state just says, just week here. Just, kids are running free. So
wow, free range kids.
Yeah, we thought, oh hey, we're going to Houston. Maybe their spring break's a different week. Nope.
Nope.
Nope. So we did the Children's Museum, which was of course chaos.
Right.
We did the Life Sciences Museum, which was also chaos. But we got to play with the butterflies for a bit, so that was fun. Yeah, and just we hit the museums, we hit the Space Center, we hit the zoo. That was a fun adventure, as they are redoing a part of the park that the zoo is in, and didn't have signs, so we got to go on a mile trek the wrong way trying to get to the entrance. So.
I've done that before.
Yeah. But yours was in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that. Yeah.
Yep. So, but no, it was a fun time all around. We actually, we're touching grass. It was weird.
Neat.
But other than that, minor bits of gaming. But really, it's just been real life stuff keeping us busy. We're trying to organize the house because we are very likely going to sell and move. So, the Mother's Day is going to be very crazy here. Because the realtor we're talking to says Mother's Day weekend is the first weekend you want to be ready. So.
Oh wow, that is gonna be insane.
Yep. So we have 3.5-ish weeks. Well, if you go by today, it's 4 weeks. But
yeah.
But we have only so many weeks before we have to get this figured out and be ready for random strangers to look at all of our stuff.
Yeah.
So no stress at all.
No stress at all. No.
So is buying a house on Mother's Day kind of like getting your spouse financially irresponsible new car for Christmas? I'm curious why Mother's Day.
Well, so the reason being is, if you think about it, we are near all three of the types of schools. We're elementary school, middle school, high school are clustered together. We are in a very family-heavy neighborhood.
Okay.
So it is very, very heavily trafficked by people looking to get into those schools. They are also very sought-after schools. So Mother's Day is the first day that those that are looking to move into the area are going to start looking around, saying, okay, what houses are available? We want to move into this place because they want to, because it takes like a month or so to actually do all the paperwork.
That makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure the house is good, yada, yada, yada. They want to move in during the summer, get settled, maybe meet some of the neighbors and whatnot, because these are the people that are going to the same school you are. And then they're fully ready for when school starts in August. So that's why, that's...
Okay, that makes sense.
The big weekend. Yeah, the big weekends are Mother's Day weekend and then Memorial Day weekend. Those are two huge house weekends.
I mean, I could see Memorial Day weekend, but it was just,
I mean, we moved into our house 4th of July weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, but like you think about it, you were through the process already through that point.
Absolutely,
You moved in July 4th
Yes.
weekend.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So that's just it's the cadence of selling houses, especially when you're trying to get around the school schedule.
Yeah.
So yeah, fun times.
That makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
But that's enough out of me.
What have you been doing any gaming? I mean, you're wearing a Fallout 76 shirt.
Yeah, poking at Fallout 76. It's for some reason, I don't know, Fallout has just gotten really popular lately.
I don't know why. Yeah, I've heard something about it.
Yeah, no, there's I guess there's this show. I don't know,
heard about it, yeah.
Actually kind of good from what I've heard. But yeah, no, it's there's been a resurgence. Not on top of that, I'm sure we're probably going to see it popping up around AIE, but Fallout 4 is getting a next gen update.
Yes, so it'll be on the PS5 and Xbox, whatever series.
Yep, and there will also be some enhancements are going to the PC version. So they're getting a bunch of, I guess, the Creation Club stuff is going to be rolled up into the update as well. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be a whole bunch of new Enclave stuff. So Enclave is huge in Fallout 76, which I'm wearing. But that it's gonna they're gonna be invading Fallout 4's world for a little bit. And on top of that, and it's unfortunate, but it's going to get pushed back. But Fallout London was about to launch. It was launching 2 days before the next gen update suddenly came out.
So is this DLC for 4?
What, Fallout London?
Yeah, or is this?
It's bigger than 4. It is using 4's engine,
right?
But it is bigger than 4's world. Like it is a full on. You can consider it an expansion. It's using 4's world, but it is fully set in London with everything. And this is fan made. It's not. It's fan made. That's the thing I should do. It's fan made, but it's high quality. It's a bunch of it's a bunch of amateurs doing it. But I kind of think that they have to be working gaming somehow because like their work is incredible looking. We've been watching the updates on YouTube.
Okay, that would explain. Yeah. I saw that because they were like, we're going to launch this, and then Bethesda announced the next gen update, and like, okay, we're going to hold off because that's probably going to break everything. So
yes,
yeah,
like they had the release candidate. They literally can launch. Yeah, and they were ready to push the button, but then they're like, you know what, we're going to wait. Yeah, the thing is they didn't want to launch it and then have the game be updated and then have people having to freeze their updates.
Right. Yeah,
because
that makes sense. Yeah.
They know fans plus themselves are eager to see what the new update's going to bring. Like, not to mention, they even said that the improvements are going to help their own stuff because they actually had to do some weird workarounds to get things to work because there were some lack of enhancements in some areas, and this update is going to fix that for them, even on the PC. So that's the thing is it's going to help them in the long run, and they want to make sure they say for all we know it'll only take a day to fix, or it could take a week, or it could take a month. We don't know. We don't know until it actually launches because they aren't sanctioned, but they're also not
sanctioned. Right.
Yeah,
right.
I say they're like Bethesda is aware of them. Their social media team has even mentioned them, but they've not actually worked together in any way. So unfortunately, they don't have advanced, access to anything. It's just, here's, something's coming. We have to see it just like the rest of you. So when it launches, they'll look at it. They'll see what happens when they try to apply their stuff to it, and then they'll fix it accordingly. Yep. So, but we're looking forward to that too. Like it's literally an entire game. Like their game map is bigger than Fallout 4's.
Wow.
Like if you include the main map plus all the DLC maps, they said it's still bigger.
Wow,
and
that's
crazy. It's dense and it's and it has a lot of the neat iconic, like if you think of how iconic the Fallout stuff is for America, they've translated that to a British version, and it's not going to be Vault Tech, but it's something along those lines. Right. So it looks really clever what they've done. So
that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So so that on top of the show. And like Fallout 76, if you have, like, I want to say Xbox Gaming or I think even Amazon Prime, they were just giving it 76 away for free.
Yeah, it's free.
Yep. Yeah. So that's the thing is so that game is does not require a subscription.
Nope.
And it is essentially co-op. It's not MMO, but it's co-op up to, if you have a private server, up to 8. More if you just on a public server.
Yep.
Like, this is a great AIE game for people getting together and jumping in there. I've played that off and on for years now, and it is worth, especially because it's free now, it's worth the money you'd be paying for.
Yeah, you can get Fallout First, which does give you access to the private servers, and that's a monthly subscription, or you can get it for a year for $100 right now because it's on special. So
and it like doubles all kinds of limits. It gives you extra room for your camp. I think it gives you 2 camps. It gives you two of the little what do they call them? They're not camps. They're like the bots. Or not bots. The little, there's a little like tent you can put down. Survival tent. That's
survival
what it is.
Survival tent. Yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's not quite your base, but it has a lot of some key needs. And we'll give you access to your stash and all that fun stuff. But like, it gives you all of these extra things, so it's kind of worth it. It's kind of like the ESO subscription. It's not required, but it definitely enhances your game. And especially for those private servers, like if you're just, most of the time it's a nice community, but every now and then there's some people that kind of live to, PvP and make things a mess. So in that case, you just, sync back to a private server and have a quiet time and let those that enjoy that have their own fun somewhere else.
Yeah.
But
well, and also you've got pacifist mode, so the worst they can do is, just shoot at you, and then it doesn't do anything. So
it kind of tinks away at you slowly, but
yeah.
So now it's more of an annoyance than anything else. It's not a huge deal, but yeah, it's definitely a good time to be a Fallout fan right now. So cool. if you have it. If you didn't hear about all this, I mean, hey, Fallout, it's happening right now.
It's out there.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but otherwise, other than that, from WoW, my heroic team finally got AOTC, so
nice.
We're finally kind of on cruise mode. We're doing achievements. We've already gotten the achievements for all of the Dragonflight raids. So we've kind of been working on the dungeon ones off and on, and then going to some of the old expansions and getting some of those achievements. So some of them are clever, some of them are very tedious.
Yeah,
but that's kind of it's hit and miss with those achievements. Sometimes it's a fun time, and most times it's just like, okay, well, that's finally done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But and we'll talk about Final Fantasy 14 later. But yeah,
we'll catch up on that. So,
yep.
So McCullough.
Yes.
Going from nuclear wasteland Fallout to, well, do we want to go to Cthulhian horror or War in the Stars?
I mean, I can go either way. Wait.
Yeah,
I can go either way.
I've heard that about your pilot. Anyway.
No. She definitely goes one way.
All right. Anyway,
it's usually my Call of Cthulhu characters that go various ways.
All right. Speaking of which, what have you been up to?
4'10". Oh, sorry, just kidding. 5'1" on my favorite heels.
That's right.
All right. So, War in the Stars. So we've been going towards Endgame for a while now. We've got to think about the fact that Star Wars. We started playing Star Wars towards the beginning of the pandemic.
This campaign.
So this campaign alone, we are at the point where we all have multiple careers. The whole team is, force sensitive, but we're kind of going towards Endgame. And what our DM has created is a alien race, not unlike the Vunyan. I can't remember how to pronounce the names, but in the EU or wow,
extended universe.
It is the EU. My brain was like, European Union, that's not right. Yeah. In the EU, that's like a race from beyond the stars, but this is kind of like where like the Force started from, and like they made slave races out of a lot of the races that we're more familiar with. At least that's what my character has gotten from touching things she shouldn't touch, because psychometry. But so we're kind of towards the end game. We know that they are. This race is manipulating a group of Force users called the Order of the Dark Star. The Order of the Dark Star is working with Thrawn's faction of the Empire. Or it was the Empire. So we have gotten to the point. So we have jumped through this space gate to get to this other part of the to get somewhere like the unknown, way beyond the unknown. Not unlike what happened in Ahsoka. We are infiltrating one of these temples. And we have just uncovered they were going to sacrifice something, or one of the members of the Order of the Dark Star, a teacher who they were calling a heretic. Well, we've now know that he's a heretic because he has knowledge that they're all being used, and he wants to stop the Kryn. So that is where we are right now, but it's getting real exciting. We've also gotten to the point where we had 3 people that were paragons in the Force, which means your morality is above 70. One actually, until this session, was like in the 90s. We also have somebody whose morality is in single digits.
Fallen?
Yeah, fallen. But now she's kind of realizing, oh no, maybe I need to get my stuff together. So because of that, we had a morality base of 5, but we kind of talked to our DM, okay, when we do good stuff and she doesn't use the dark side, maybe we can kind of fuss it around. So we've been a little better as a group. But this last session today, our Paragon had to use the dark side to get something done, and our Darksider had to use the dark side. So, well, the only person that did not lose any on the scale was our Darksider. She retained neutral. And one of our folks who was doing really great. I mean, he was in the 90s. Yeah, he's now sitting there under the Paragon level at 70. Yeah, he's at 68. He was I think he was 96 at the start of the session.
Good Lord. Wow.
Because he had taken a deal a long time ago, gives him an extra Force die, but if he uses the dark side, it's doubled. So he gained 8. So he had 8. He went from 76 to 88, and then he was the doubler, and then he rolled very poorly.
Yeah.
So it was a good time for him. And then right. Well, yeah. And then my character, I have kind of been playing her more she fought her way back up from almost being Darksider. So she, there's some sessions she's a Paragon, so she's above 70, some sessions she's below, then she gets above, then she gets below. I'm all right, I'm just playing it like that. But that is getting a lot of fun just because, they are dealing with epic level stuff. And, when you're taking on, 8 to 12 combatants, and it's a crew of 4.
Yeah.
It is very, very epic stuff. It's a lot of fun. So that is what's been going on with Star Wars, and I'll let you tell about the Call of Cthulhu stuff.
What about D&D?
D&D. Well, we have several. So one of our campaigns. I'll also let you talk about the one that you're in. But one of our campaigns, we are playing war games right now.
Oh, nice.
We have spent the last 2 sessions. It has been 6 rounds. I'll have to check my notes. We are trying to infiltrate a goblin encampment. Not goblin. I'm sorry. Knoll. Excuse me.
Gotcha.
Knoll, and they also have some humans working for them. They're cultists. So it literally has been 3 rounds a session.
Wow.
Oh yeah, no, we're in the middle of war games.
It sounds like invading the goblin camp in Baldur's Gate. And you don't take out all the goblins first. Yeah, very, very much so. And we've done a lot of stuff that made it, if it wasn't a boss, they have -2 on all of their rolls. We have a variety of things that we have done to give us certain advantages. But our DM, that particular DM, he actually used to work for Blizzard.
So he's very good at the large scale raid type work, because this very much is a raid.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going there. We're still playing in Beyond the Witchlight, though we have had to take a little bit of a break there. Same with our Star Wars, our other Star Wars campaign. I think we're still in the same place that they're. So
very cool.
But I'll let you talk with the other two that we're doing.
Okay. So first thing I have to give a plug because we actually went out and saw a movie yesterday.
We did.
Movie.
And if you get a chance to see The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare,
so much fun.
It is
my God.
Guy Ritchie directed movie, so it's very British and reserved and also completely over the top at the same time. Like it manages to do both at the same time, and it is so good. The acting is amazing. The scenes are really well done, and you're just kind of like the second half of it. You're just kind of on your edge of your seat the whole time. It is so well done. It's a blast to go see. If you are averse to a lot of blood and violence, it's a war movie. So, and for those that don't know, basically it is a story unearthed from Winston Churchill's archives that were declassified in 2016. So it's a true story. It's just a telling of that
It's Guy Ritchie telling a true story. So
creative retelling.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But so worth it. Oh my God.
It's so good. So we went and saw that. I have, because it's starting to finally heat up here, I replaced the misters out back because our 35-pound puppy insists that outside is where he wants to be regardless of the temperature. So we have now the ceiling fans on the patio along with the misters to keep us cool while he goes and, plays in the backyard and then comes in and goes and passes out on the tile floor, So good times there. And then I'm in the process of running a couple of Ethernet cables from the office to the two bedrooms because we may have Ryan's partner may be coming here to work at a new job because the internet she has at her house they wouldn't accept that internet for the job because it's a remote. So we're like, well, you can just come work here. It's like,
exactly.
We have a spare bedroom and
it's not like nobody works from home around here anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. So we may have, another person working from home here, which will be fun. So got all that set up. And then besides all that, I have had time to do a little bit of gaming. So I set Cyberpunk 2077 aside. I am doing a Cyber Ninja Corpo run in that. And I actually will go to meet Hanako at Embers, unlike the internet meme. It just says,
"What is that?"
Please go meet Hanako at Embers. No, I don't think I will. That's the entire internet meme. Like everyone avoids doing that.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so because that's not the ending they want to do.
No.
But this will be the first time going through that, so that'll be fun. But I set that aside to revive my Fallout Shelter game that I have.
Oh, wow.
I have that in Steam, so I've been playing that, off and on because it's a nice thing. You can just go in, do a few things, and then shut it off and go do something else, and the game ticks on offline. At least some of the mechanical stuff does. And then playing Fallout 76. I fired that up. I fired up Fallout 4 and went, let me go try 76.
Yeah. Because 76 has gotten all the enhancements since then.
Right.
So that's the problem. So
yeah, because I don't know if it was just some weird setting or whatever, but like the field of view was set really badly in Fallout 4, and I'm like, why is this look like...
You need mods to fix that.
Yeah, I was like, this looks bad. Like, I'm like, 80, 90, 120. What? No, this just looks odd. So
yeah, that was very notorious. And 76 had a few, because since it's a live service game, they actually did some improvements to that.
Yeah, so 76 looks much better and runs like butter. So I've been playing that. The only frustration I've had with it is I apparently picked a campsite that's too close to popular other campsites. So every time I was logging in, it was like your camp couldn't be placed. And finally the game's like, here, you get one free camp placement. Go place it somewhere else. I'm like, okay. And I took the hint. I was like, so it probably just put all the pieces in the camp and then I'm going to have to rebuild it. No, I get to the place where I want the camp and it's like, here's the entire building. I'm like, oh, okay, this is convenient. This is okay. Now and then I had to place the stuff that was outside.
Improvements into that. Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun, but I've been playing that a lot, just trying to avoid, because I have all the DLC I had the DLC for 76. I'm trying to stick to the original main storyline and not the DLC, because that's meant for higher level or can be meant for higher level, and so I'm trying to stick to the original. So I'm doing all the first responder stuff at the airport and that sort of thing to get all that taken care of.
Which anyone that played the original, and you've missed all that, they did a full rework on that whole system. The difference between having NPCs to talk to and not was apparently bigger than they were expecting.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no! When they first emptied it, when they first created, I was watching a video on it. When they first launched it, they were expecting the players to fill the world in and do all the interaction and the selling and the crafting and stuff like that. And people are like, this doesn't seem finished. Where's everyone I need to talk to that I don't want to talk to real people, So yeah, with the rework and everything, it's really good. So that's what I've been playing mostly, that. And it also has me now excited for what they're going to do to Starfield, because unlike other game companies, Bethesda does not give up on franchises or games. So, anyone thinks that the condition that Starfield launched in is what it's going to stay doesn't know Bethesda. They're going to continue to update and tweak and add content to it. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do for Starfield once they're ready. I think they're supposed to announce it in the next couple of weeks of what the next plans are for that. So
yeah, they need to let the Fallout stuff happen and then they can start talking about Starfield. But yeah,
exactly.
Anytime people are recommending not to do New Game Plus, that tells Bethesda, oops.
Yeah.
We didn't do something
that makes
right.
Sense. Yeah.
It's like,
okay, that was supposed to be the whole gameplay loop.
Right. You're supposed to play through and then you get the new game and then you play it again and it's supposed to progress. And people are like, yeah, this is not different enough. And no, then set it aside.
There's like everything out there will say it's not worth going to New Game Plus.
Yeah.
And we can't tell you why, but basically everyone's saying just enjoy your first world and just go ham on the first world until they figure something out, because it seems like such an interesting concept, but I think that they need to enhance it a bit. They need to figure something out.
Definitely.
But yeah, that I mean, I'm pretty sure they said they have a DLC they're working on. So
they are. Yes. Yep.
So that'll be interesting to see what they bring.
Yep. And then real quick, in tabletop role-playing game, we are still in our D&D dungeon trying to figure out how to get to 2 NPCs and 1 team member that got separated from the party completely on accident. They fell down a chute and we're in this maze of... There's pillars that activate certain rooms when you combine them together, but there's also another room that has buttons, and when you push those, rooms rotate. And so we've got to kind of figure out, like, how do we do this without cutting the people in half with the room rotating or stuff like that. So
I will say that we were the DM and I were Arnold Reed grocery shopping last week, and she's like, Cam is really good at puzzles. I'm like, yes. Yes, he is.
Aw, I appreciate that. And then in our Wild Beyond the Witchlight game, we haven't moved on that. And Call of Cthulhu, I think we're in the end game.
We are in the end. Yes.
Yeah, we did progress into the next chapter, which meant we could increase our skills and stuff like that. So we did that. And we now have one of our team members thinks she's a vampire, really isn't, but we're trying to convince her she's not, except occasionally my character will get sarcastic because she asked for a blessed weapon. Because we're going to fight what we think is an actual vampire. And I said, well, why? You won't be able to hold it anyway. And she's like, oh, that's right. I'm a vampire. And went off. And then our doctor, who has been trying to convince her that she's not a vampire, just about backhanded my character because he's like, you're not helping. I'm like, I know. But
I'm trying to not help.
But it's hilarious. So, yeah, we had stolen this necklace and thought we were, all good. And then the bad guy's immediate, first lieutenant shows up in town from Europe. And were we at tea?
Well, we
were at lunch.
We had seen him on the street, and
basically it was one of those things like we're on opposite sides of the street, and we caught each other. We basically caught each other looking at each other, and then they came over and said, "Why don't we have lunch? We have some things to discuss." We kind of went,
"No, okay."
Yeah, and then there was some not so veiled threats of basically return the necklace or bad things will happen.
Bad things are going to happen anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're dealing with the fallout from that. McCullough did an amazing job of playing her medium and contacting the deceased husband, ex-husband of one of the ladies of high society that is part of the paranormal society. And by doing so, there was a whole event that happened in there, but we ended up getting a invitation to the event that we were trying to get into anyway, so it worked out. But let's just say she got felt up by a ghost.
By a ghost. Yeah, it was a really weird ghost remake. I gotta say, my character finally got tea. This character has been trying to get to tea for the entirety of this campaign.
Yep. And then finally got to tea and played to her strengths and got us the invitation. So it was amazing. But I think that's some catching up. And wow, we've used a bit of the podcast.
Yeah,
to catch up,
a little bit.
That's fine. We are now
it's our podcast. We do what we want.
Exactly.
You can't stop us.
You can't stop us. You can try. All right, but let's
can't stop the signal.
Oh, why?
Sorry.
Sorry,
I'm so sorry.
Too soon.
I'm just a leaf on the wind. All right.
Leaf on the wind. Anyway.
Let's cover this week's news.
AIE News.
So it's been a hot minute since we've last talked to you all, so we thought we'd remind you about all of the mandatory fun nights, because there's a lot of them. We're a very busy group. But not today, though. Today you can just listen to the podcast, because Sundays you get the day off. So, hi. Hope you're enjoying the podcast. But starting on Mondays, we have Guild Wars 2. They have a 9:30 p.m. Eastern slot. And then a little bit after that, STO starts their 10 p.m. Eastern slot on Mondays as well. And then on Tuesday, SWTOR, who's been very busy and lately, we'll get into that. But they've been very busy and successful. They like to do things on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. max.
Mm-hmm.
8 p.m. max time. Wednesday, we have the HFO Mythic Plus Mayhem team over in WoW. So if you still want to get a few more Mythic Pluses in before the season changes over, that is Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then we have on the first and third Thursdays of the month, Board Game Night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. And then over to Friday, ESO starts their march over cliffs at 9 p.m. Eastern, followed by at the same time, the Final Fantasy XIV Magical Miscellaneous Tour at 9 p.m. Eastern, doing all manner of random things. And then we finish out the week Saturday. Lord of the Rings Online is at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by Final Fantasy XIV Map Night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. I still see the ping, so they're still at it.
Yep. They took this week off, but normally, yes.
Yeah, it happens. Then, of course, at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we have WoW Classic Hardcore. WoW is just really busy lately.
We'll talk about 5 games in a trench coat in just a minute.
Yes. Yeah, so the goblins, it's games.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the night, we've got New Braid in WoW at 11 p.m. Eastern, if you're looking into that.
More falling off cliffs because Kenny's involved. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And speaking of stuff that our guild does, they're streaming in Guild Podcast News. Well, Guild Podcast News primarily. As we well know, there's lots of AIE member podcasts. Want to know where to find them? Look no further than here. New Overlord Podcast, which are good friends Max and Seema. Find them at newoverlords.com. Working Class Nerds with our buddies Mark and Nick. Mark and Nickus. Wow. Marcus and Nick. How do I talk? Not Safe for Life. Working Class Nerds. com.wordpress.com, Boards and Swords with Chris and Philip at boardsandswords.com, Dr. Gamology, our friend Dr. Daniel Kaufman at drgamology.com, Fleet Action Report, STO with Gribach and Nicodemus. Go ahead and find them on YouTube at Fleet Action Report. Podcast Reborn, a Final Fantasy XIV community podcast with OMF, Get Off My Lawn, Megan and Rowe, Not Safe for Life. Find that at bonusroll.gg and look for a Podcast Reborn in the directory.
Yep. And in Nomads news, Destiny 2 Into the Light event has started. It's a free-to-play for everyone horde mode with reprised weapons. Also, two older exotic weapon quests have been revised and re-released. Whisper of the Worm Sniper Rifle and Outbreak Perfected Pulse. And Fun Night has moved to... Oh!
What? Yeah.
Breaking news.
Update that.
Yeah, breaking news. Fun Night has moved to Sundays officially. We will update the template. So
yes.
Keep an eye on the Nomads channel if you want to play Destiny 2.
No more days off. Sorry.
Nobody's off.
All right. Speaking of a busy group of things, WoW.
Wow.
We have to say
5 games in a trench coat.
Yep. So, well, there is or was a guild event on Monday.
Was.
Where a raid team Kitty Aggro helped about a dozen guildies kill Heroic Farak, the final boss of Yggdrasil, for the Ahead of the Curve achievement. Players also got a short quest to unlock a Farak appearance for the Dragon Riding mount, which is it's actually a pretty neat mount. I'm actually using that mount now because of that appearance. It looks pretty cool.
Nice.
There is a new patch coming Tuesday. The 3 Dragonflight raids, yes, 3. We're already at the end. It's crazy to think of. They will be coming Awakened, which is basically I guess what they did with Shadowlands. I wasn't there for the end of Shadowlands, so yeah. I did not experience it myself. But apparently they kind of make the raids a bit spicy, bring them up to the end gearing tier. And, of course, then bump up the gear that comes out of all 3 of them. And they're going to be taking turns. They will be harder. They will drop improved gear at a newer eye level. And, of course, a token to get goodies. It's called the Antique Bullion. You can use it to buy weapons and other items, as well as Jiggleworth's Senior Mount, which I believe is the slime mount, right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. If you complete all 3 raids, you will get the Voyaging Wilderling mount and an Awakened Hero achievement. So, it's kind of a meta thing, but you've once a week they're going to switch it up, and you'll be able to get in there. So, if you've already cleared them all out, this will be old hat. Especially like if you're with my team, we were doing the achievements, so we were kind of getting familiar with all those mechanics that will still one shot you, even though you're in heroic gear.
Yep.
They will still one shot if you don't pay attention.
Fun.
To them. That's They want you paying attention. There's this whole thing about mechanics, I guess. They want you to actually... So, that's fun. Then, of course, the 8 Dragonflight dungeons are going to be revamped to Mythic level. It's basically so that, well, for one thing, Mythic 0 is basically going to be what the current Mythic 10 is, but without a timer.
Correct.
So, yes, it's going to be harder, but you're not going to be pressed for time. And you're going to get the
better
gear.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll get the better gear for that. So it'll be worth it. It's going to be a challenge, but it'll be okay. It's Mythic 0. You're not going to have all the crazy affixes and all that other nonsense, so it won't be that bad. They're also, and I thought this was interesting, that they're putting in the ability to make your own personal tabards. It's if you remember, you've been part of AIE, so you probably have the AIE guild tabard.
Yeah. It's lovely. It's burgundy. It's gold.
It's there.
Very pretty.
But there are some people out there that are guildless, and they like it that way, but they don't get to have that personalized tabard. So the Blizzard finally said, "Oh, I guess we can just let them do that too."
Yeah.
So there you go. So you can personalize it. I mean, there's so many tabards in the game by now, all the different factions and whatnot. So there's no telling which one you have on, but it's nice if you want to have a little personal flair. Then, of course, housekeeping stuff. Since we're going into essentially a new season, all that catalyst stuff is going away. All those charges and all the things you've been keeping up, gone. So use it now. Reminder that it's not just for getting your tier sets, but it's also for getting transmog you may not have yet. So even if it's not a great gear upgrade to switch it over, you're still going to get a transmog unlock out of it. So keep that in mind. You can also use your flight stones, because those are going to go away, to buy rep tokens, or I don't think it's said here, but if you talk to the panda that gives you the mythic keystone, if you like me forgot to do a mythic dungeon that week, she has a shop that if you've gotten enough mythic not eye level mythic whatever the mythic points
rating?
are for saying no, not rating, the mythic dungeon, there's rating, not rating.
Right.
If you have enough mythic rating, she will let you buy these random chances at better gear for your alts with your flight stones. So if your main character just has all these tons of flight stones and nothing to do with it, that's actually a really good place to spend it, I've noticed. So I've been buying those because I'm working on a warlock and I'm working on a monk, because my current main is no longer a warrior. I'm now a demon hunter, because demon hunter is a fun version of warrior.
Yes.
But yeah, I've been having fun with my old warlock. Was actually druid was kind of my first class, but warlock was my first major first class.
Same.
So it was nice to kind of get back on there and play with all those fun new buttons, and I still have the old green. So yeah, but anyway, burn it all before Tuesday. Hopefully you're listening tonight or tomorrow, but you have until Tuesday to get all of that stuff taken care of. So get on it. They also did send out emails. I saw mine that said if you want to sign up for the beta for War Within, go ahead and do so. The alpha is now out. We've seen some streamers doing stuff. There's lots of videos coming out talking about what's coming. So if you want to get in on the beta, the signups are ready. So hop in.
Yep. And we will not spoil the content. But if you want to stay completely spoiler free, then just stay off the internet, because even Blizzard has announced the first major spoiler as part of this alpha beta process. They want you, basically they're going back to Danger Will Robinson, you're in trouble right at the start. There's a potential major character death. There's a potential location destruction. You'll see. So
stuff's happening.
If you don't want to be spoiled, just stay off the internet.
That makes sense. That's general. That's good advice.
Yeah.
And stay away from their main channel. Their main channel has it right there. Like there's no getting away from it.
However, I think Mew may be going back to Druid in War Within, because just for the flight stuff alone, because you can now macro and easily toggle between dragon riding and classic flight form while you're druid shapeshift. Because you can, so while you've got druid flying, you can druid fly as dragon riding, and then when you want to go pick herbs or whatever else, you can just toggle, switch to classic, hover there, do whatever you need to do, and then switch back to dragon riding, and you're off. So
that would be a major advancement to be able to just like flying around, do. Okay, you know what? I'm going to stop now. Click.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. They've been testing that in alpha, and it works great. So
interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge quality of life thing there. So.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All
right. And speaking of stuff, and WoW Classic, Kata's pre-patch drops on the 30th, with the game with Kata itself dropping on May 20th or 20 May for those who do not use US based dates. We're all hoping that the PTR is not indicative of the state of the game, as it's not been very stable. They've also released a roadmap for raids during Kata, and the pace seems to be very accelerated. If they stick to the roadmap, the final raid will be out in January of 2025. It appears that they're rolling things out every 3 months, which for those who have not played previously seems a bit fast. The scenario of Zalazane's Fall and Operation Number Gone are out, and they give 2 toys, a Dark Spirit Troll costume, and a Nomoron Gnome costume. You only need to do one of the scenarios, and you get both toys. Season of Discovery is in Phase 3, and the level cap is now 50. There are several guildies who have been having a blast with it, and the hardcore classic now has a self-found mode. If hardcore wasn't hard enough, this one makes it even harder. And it's unknown of how many are taking advantage of it, but when you create a character in self-found mode, you have no access to auction house, mail, or trading at all. You are on your own.
And also released recently, speaking of 5 games in a trench coat, there is a new mode coming that is going to replace the I almost said Stormageddon. What's the
Plunderstorm.
Plunderstorm. They're replacing Plunderstorm with Miss Pandaria Remix. Which was
originally called Pandemonium.
Yes, which was originally called, it's a better name. So Miss Pandaria Remix, basically you can do the entire expansion 1 to 60 raids, dungeons, heroic dungeons, the whole thing just as if you were doing the expansion, but it's very accelerated. It's very over the top powerful. You get a cloak that increases your power, and you just kind of like the legendary cloak, but you feed power into it and makes your character even more and more powerful. And we're
talking all stats, every single stat.
It's ridiculous. Like it's like taking your current level character and going back to Pandaria now times more. It's just ridiculous. But you'll be able to do all the raids in Pandaria, all the dungeons, all the scenarios, and all the appearances you get carry back to your main character. So,
yeah.
Nice.
So if any of you have played the Diablo seasons, this is essentially what it is. It's a Warcraft season character. They're trapped in Pandaria. Like I don't think you can even take boats to get off. Like you have to be in Pandaria. There's no flying off. There's no traveling off. There's no hearthing off. Your character lives in Pandaria during this time, and it's limited, just like Plunderstorm. Like once it's over, that's it. And you everything's accelerated. Everything's crazy, and then once it's released, it'll become a regular. That's the one thing people don't realize. It becomes a regular character at the end. And will then be with your regular characters on that server. It's not going to have its own servers. It's not its own little separate thing. They will roll it over just like the Diablo seasonal characters. They roll it over to a regular character when it's over, and then they can join the main world.
So if you want to level a new character for whatever reason, here you go. This is their new leveling track, at least for a limited time.
Yeah, it's a better version of Chromie Time.
Exactly. So. All right, and pivoting off 5 games in a trench coat to the war in space, we won another planet during 2 weeks ago of Total Galactic War. In fact, they won 2 planets since our fledgling guild on Shea Vizsla, or is it a guild of fledglings? We don't know.
Yes.
Also won a planet once our victory on Storeforge was assured. The last week's MFN was a celebration of the Total Galactic win, a distribution of prizes for everyone, and an early to bed night. Total Galactic War is good fun, but it does take some recovery time. Don't forget Warzone on Wednesdays. You never know which faction or level range will be playing, so stay tuned to Discord. And Friday Fun, 2 weeks past, was a rousing game of Get Some Fun. If you want to see what Galactic Starfighter is all about, you can watch the VOD at twitch.tv/Stask27. Warning, possibly not for the faint of heart.
And then going from space to fantasy, but also space. I don't know, it's weird. Final Fantasy 14. Yeah. So what's been crazy in Final Fantasy 14 is we had a collaboration with Final Fantasy 16. The game directors had a meeting. They did lots of nodding and talking and said, you know what? Yeah, this collab sounds like a good idea. And so the Final Fantasy main character from 16 visits us in 14, and chaos ensues. It's a fun little thing. You kind of get a little bit of a taste of how things work in 16, but with 14's mechanics. And you get a nice outfit set out of it. You get a new mount. Everyone's been going gaga over this new mount. You get a new pet. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of funny at the end. There's a very little meta nod from Yoshi P saying, I wonder if you could continue this story elsewhere.
Funny.
Because he's the director on both games. For those that don't know.
That's the ongoing joke, is that he has to okay it with the director of the other game, which is himself.
Yeah.
So that's been a fun ongoing thing, but
self-differential there.
Yeah. The outfit looks really good. The character looks really good. Like, obviously it's not quite like, once we get the next expansion for 14, it'll probably look close to on par with 16. But it's still pretty. It looks pretty nice. But yeah, it's definitely worth the time. It's going on now for just a little bit longer, so you'll want to jump in there if you want to get it. It's definitely worth your time. It's 3 quests. It doesn't take very long to do. You can speed through it if you need to, but there's some nice cutscenes, some nice story. And it'll also give you a little bit of an introduction to what's going on in 16, of course, because that's what it's there for.
Awesome.
But,
and how long does that run to?
I have already forgotten. It's actually, we have it down below here. We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
They also dropped the Dawn Trail performance benchmark. It was dropped like a week or 2 ago. And you can see what your character is going to look like in the new game. There's a little bit of, you have to do some behind the scenes stuff if you want your exact character without having to actually redo it. You copy your character creation folder from or file from 14 to the benchmark folder, and then it'll actually pop up and be usable. Or you just, if you remember your presets, then you just go and click them all, and you'll see what your character looks like under the new lighting. But the caveat is that they have acknowledged that it's not perfect. It's an old benchmarks engine. It still kind of has a little bit of the old engine stuff stuck in it, and they've realized that they need to fix a lot of it. So they're going to release another benchmark application soon,
right?
Fixing those problems. There was just you can see some very obvious neck seams and the backgrounds. They focused on the characters, not the backgrounds. So the backgrounds look a little weird. So they're
lighting is
this.
Off.
Yeah, so after the world dove in and went crazy with it, then they heard the feedback okay, yeah, that you guys are right, let's fix this, which everyone loves that these devs are actually back and forth that way.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah,
because it's a benchmark. Yeah. They did not have to do any of this, other than maybe the performance tweak to get an accurate benchmark. But yes,
and that part all works fine. It'll actually give you a good idea of what things are going to work with for the new game. But yeah, they're going to go the extra mile. and spend some time fixing the benchmark and re-release it, and it'll look even better. And I'm looking forward to it. But you can see what the new Hrothgal is going to look like if you want to put her together.
I made mine. Looks amazing.
Yep, and once you save those character creation things, you can then copy that file over to 14, and then when the game comes out, poof,
you've
got it done.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, it's a neat little system. But yeah, it's out there. Go play with it. Go see what the Hrothgal looks like. Go see some of the neat scenes from the expansion. Definitely looks like there's going to be a lot going on. It's going to be a nice little vacation for our poor Warrior of Light or Warrior of Darkness, depending on which one you like to be.
Yep. Also, some new abilities got snuck into the trailer. So.
Yep. For all classes, it's not just because your character, of course, is going to be is shown as the new class or one of the new classes, I should say. But they also do show some of the new abilities too for the other classes, so you can see that.
Excellent.
But then yes, we have a nice little graphic here that has the release schedule happening. So we'll go ahead and we have it in the show notes for later for those of you who want to have a look at it. But so the crossover event looks like it ends on that looks like
it's
May
4th. Yeah, May 8th or 4th, one of the two. So. You still have a few weeks.
Yeah. So that's you have some time, but before that even ends, the Yokai Watch collaboration's coming back. That's a real popular one because there's just so much to do. Because there's pets, there's mounts, there's weapon stuff. Like it's a lot to do. So everyone gets excited when this comes back, so you can finish it because it's so big that it takes you a while to do them all. And of course, we want to do it all. We are very completionist around here.
That sounds very. But wait, there's more.
Yes,
well,
exactly.
It's Yokai Watch is basically their version. It's basically Pokemon Go. You have to catch them all, but with different creatures and stuff like that. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So this is kind of Square Enix's version of it, and they lean more on yokai or monsters and spirits and stuff like that. They lean more on that than they do animals.
Yes.
So that's the other major difference. And then looks like on the 15th, we have the Make It Rain campaign coming, which means that you get bonus MGP. What's it called? The Golden Saucer. Yeah, MGP, the Golden Saucer stuff. And there's a lot in there, especially if you've done some of the Hildebrand stuff and unlocked it all. But there's a lot to buy, a lot of mounts, a lot of outfits, a lot of pets and whatnot. So this will keep us busy. And there's also I believe that's June. Yeah, June 1st. No, June 5th. The Dragon Quest X collaboration event returns, and that's just another one where there's just some goofy bits and pieces that people want to collect. And it gives you a little bit of a taste of what Dragon Quest is like. It's another one of their big franchises. It's not an MMO. It's just a single player game, but that's a lot of fun. And that will end on the 20th of June. Looks like pretty much like near the end of June, a lot of these collaborations will end up ending, including the Moogle Treasure Trove, which is they add a little bonus extra Moogle, what do you call it? The marks, the tomestones.
Yep.
To buy some mounts and pets and outfits that you may have had trouble getting from the game. This is a much easier way of getting it. And there's usually one exclusive item, like an earring or a headpiece or something that they'll also add on to the end of it too. So look forward to that. And then, of course, we have Dawn Trail actually launching. So we will see that right now it's currently scheduled for, looks like around the beginning of July. We'll see.
It looks like 7-1?
Yeah, 7.1 is when and 7.2 I think is when it officially launches, but the early access starts on the 28th of June. So it's that they give you the whole weekend to get ahead of the rush, but like who's not going to already have it because if you're playing the game you probably already have it pre-ordered. So really it launches on the 28th, but it officially launches on the 2nd.
Yeah, we don't know how that is.
Yep.
Yeah. And unlike the WoW fanboys, we don't complain about early access. So
yeah, well,
Got it. All right. ESO news. They are currently taking advantage of the anniversary event by clearing trials and doing world boss kills for loot boxes. And of course, having cake so they get their event tickets. Kramer has all of the Munda stones and crafting stations currently available at his primary residence. Feel free to stop by there if you need to. The next chapter expansion called Gold Road comes out on June 5th on the PC. The guild is looking forward to exploring the new areas as well as changes to some of the base game systems as it comes out. To learn more information as it arises, pop into that ESO channel, and maybe we'll get Kinney on to discuss what's going on.
Yep. And in STO news, Alea Iacta S classes, our Federation fleet, has finished up all fleet holdings. They will continue to enable ways for the members to earn fleet credits, but all items, ships, bridge officers have been unlocked. Congratulations. AIE Honorus, the Klingon Defense Fleet, is working on all holdings with the focus currently split between the Starbase and the Spire to unlock fleet consoles. STO's current event is celebrating First Contact Day. Earn the Photon Rifle with 14 days of progress earned by running one of 2 TFOs or a patrol. Alongside this, players can create Delta Recruits. The special type of character will unlock multiple items and marks for your entire account. And a reminder, their video podcast, Fleet Action Report, hosts an informative show every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. They've got upcoming episodes involving a proton energy build and the Delta Recruits. Also, our fleet hosts a Fleet Fun Night, Mondays at 10 p.m. Eastern. They run TFOs, assist with difficult missions, help master ships, or just play alongside you. Please come join the fun.
Over in Lord of the Rings Online on the 18th, which was 3 days ago, they celebrated their 17th anniversary.
Yeah, amazing.
There's a free gift tied to the event, so log in before it goes away. For the week of 11 to the 18th, which has already happened, the Lord of the Rings Online store was giving away Universal Ingredients pack times 10 if you use the code UNIPAC. Hopefully you already did that. There is a link to the latest patch notes in our notes.
All right. And that is our show for tonight. While the chat room hopefully begins suggesting show titles, we want to thank us for joining us. Yay, us.
Thanks, us. Yay.
Yay, us. Hi, us.
And we're not talking the little brain character in Baldur's Gate 3. We're talking us. Anyway.
us. 3 of us.
Yep.
Us, not sus. It is us. All right. If you have questions or comments about the show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can find us at on the AIE Discord, of course, and other non-Twitter social media. We record live with video every other Sunday now, when we aren't taking breaks, at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us at the website, aie-guild.org/podcast-live-stream. And you can look for the link to our Discord server there as well on the main page. For past episodes, you can see them on the YouTube channel. Just look for the AIE Podcast. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul or visit his website, andrewallenmusic.com.
Okay, and it's now time to play all the great AIE member segments. Actually, we don't have any, but you know the drill, folks. If you want to try your hand at making one, make them make them no more than 120 seconds. We would love to have you and your creativity for the segments.
All right. And hopefully next time we should be talking to Marcus and hopefully another special guest about Destiny 2. But until then, AIE, this is Tetsemi.
This is Mewcow.
This is Makala.
And this has been the AIE Podcast. Yay!
It's good that you removed the guest part, because then it would have been recursive.
I know.
Right? Right.
So.
And Seema, I love that. Every game, everywhere, all at once. That is 100% title.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. But seriously, WoW's 5 games in a trench coat. It has no idea what it wants to be anymore. Like, literally, once Dragonflight started going along, I'm like, oh, this is the expansion where they're just literally going to throw everything at the wall, see what sticks, evaluate it, and then that's what they're going to use going forward. So
Yep.
the Plunder Storm, the Miss remix, the good Lord, everything.
Yeah, I've kind of been grinding in the Plunder Storm a little bit. It's not the best experience, but
yeah,
it's
at least they doubled the rep and stuff. So
that's why I'm getting a little more in, because the transmog is kind of cool, and if I treat it, because someone kind of gave me a good perspective. If you treat it like PvE, and then I guess there's a PvE element over there somewhere.
Yeah.
Like just focus on getting your quest done, and then just get plunder. And if PvP happens, that just means that game session was over and start
start a new one. So, all right. Well, thank you, chat room. We will see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Have a good one. Bye, chat room.
Bye.
Bye.